Window Youth, écoutez-moi. Window Youth, Window Youth, regarde-moi.
Hello. Today on the Journeys of Care, we have with us Siavash, the Velos youth worker and interpreter, Farsi interpreter. Hello, Siavash.
Hello, Maria.
I'm very glad we will have this discussion together.
Glad to be here.
So, first of all, can you tell us a bit what you are doing in Velos as youth worker? Because as interpreter is a bit more clear.
Yeah, in Velos, I'm a youth support worker and interpreter. You know, most of my job is with the youth. All the day, during the day, in the center. I'm listening to them, what they need. I will listen to who should I refer them. Either is a social worker or a job counselor. Depends.
Okay, great. Now, it's been, I think also your previous job you used to work with the young people, so you have a lot of experience on this field. Could you tell us what inspired you to work with young refugees? Why did you choose to do this job?
That's a very good question. Not a lot of people are asking me these days the question, but the reason was I felt there is a gap in the Greek system, and there are not a lot of people are speak the Greek language fluently. I mean, I had a very bad experience, so I decided to learn the Greek language and became an interpreter, to become a voice of those who don't know the language. It's very nice that they are listening and they are talking to someone that speaks the language. You know, it's make a very big difference in the result.
So you decided to do this job because you felt that there is a gap, and because on your own experience as a refugee, you felt that you would like to have someone to support you with the language or in other levels.
Okay, let's tell you what's happened in the beginning. I had an interview when I asked asylum. In the interview room, it was a person who couldn't speak the language very well, so he was interpreting from Farsi to English, from English to Greek, by the Google Translate inside the asylum service. And for me, it was a question. And after, when I even take a lawyer to sue them, it was wrong. I need to have another interview. They said you cannot fight the system. So I said, there is a problem here.
I'll try to fight it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And now, with all these years of experience, what would you say is the biggest challenge in this job?
The biggest challenge, it's to not lose the conversation. When you are interpreting for someone, he may say some stuff that bother you even, emotionally. You should not, let that emotion get inside you. I mean, it's very tough to listen to some stories, but the truth is you should translate word by word, and even you should try to send the meaning of the word or the conversation that you're gonna have to another person. I mean, it's not only interpreting. You don't interpreting almost only the words. You are interpreting also the emotion. That's a point.
And difficult also to get through all this emotion in many cases.
Yeah. That's the difficult part, after the job, you try to... It's very tough, to be honest. In the beginning, it was very, very difficult for me. When I was interpreting, I really was keeping myself when I had the interpreting for the psychologist or the social worker. It was very tough, especially with the psychologists, to translate all of the stuff they are saying. And After that, I needed someone to speak to who, and it was nobody. I mean, it was very tough in the beginning, but now I get used to it. I get used.
Maybe that is also important, the supervision, when we have all this kind of
Exactly.
discussions, that you have a space, as you said, to discuss it yourself, because it's tough.
It is tough because that time I started to work. Let's say I was already 5 years in Greece, and I was helping those who are coming right now in Greece, and they needed immediate help. I mean, they were really fresh. I mean, they took someone from Kabul, bring it immediately to us, and they were like these cases. To talk to someone, to tell them, guys, it's bothering me, all of this. I couldn't say anything. I mean, there were no people to talk about it.
And as a youth worker, what would be the challenge that you face more?
To be a youth worker and to be from Iran, it's good, I mean, the things I told you in the beginning, they need to feel connection to you, to talk with you, to open up with you. So when they see someone from, let's say, Middle East or not Greek are there and listening to you, it's very, very... they let them to open easily. They talk to you easily.
They feel the connection.
They feel connection, exactly.
But is there a challenge on this, on the youth work, or for you that...
There are some challenges. In any position, there are challenges, I haven't think about it, to be honest.
It's okay. Okay.
I will figure it out. Any problem have one solution. And I will find it always. I mean, I try to find that connection you are saying with everyone.
I think what you said is a challenge. Every problem needs a solution, and that passed from me. That can be a challenge, eh? That can be a challenge, I guess.
Maybe a person came from a country that doesn't speak any language at all, and we really, really want to help him or her, and we cannot communicate. That's a challenge. As a youth support worker, I haven't faced it yet.
Okay. Now, can you share one moment or one experience that you had during your work that has stayed with you all these years?
There are many things that are stuck with me still. But yeah.
Can you share one, or can you share a feeling, or I don't know?
Yeah, I remember when I started to work as an interpreter and caretakers in the place that I was working. One day I got to the job and I saw a kid on top of the building, let's say, on the roof of the building. And I saw him out, and I immediately put my stuff, I jump up, I go to the roof, and I start to talk with him. It took 2 hours to take him down, to be honest. He was ready. I mean, how to explain it? He was blaming everyone and everybody. It was very tough for him. But, he calmed down after everything was fine. But it still is with me. I mean, if that day I was a little bit late or I said something that bothered him, he was really ready to jump that day. That is remained for me. It was very tough.
I know, definitely. Very difficult, challenging moment.
It was.
And nice that it had a good ending.
The person, he's fine, he's happy, he's in the place that he loved now. He totally changed after that day. And he changed me, and he changed himself forever, I believe.
That is the connection.
That's a connection.
What a moment of connection can bring.
Exactly. You don't know. You don't know what's the next.
You never know. Never know. I think that's a bit the magic in the job we do, and that pays back in many cases, that the difficult emotions come and you need to handle them. I guess so. Now, if we talk a bit now, with all these young people that you have, you had this connection, you've managed to have a nice relationship. and many of them are leaving. You don't have news about them. How do you manage this? How do you deal with this?
The moment, I hate goodbye. That's the most difficult part. They are coming here. You get to know them. They get to know you. You get connect. They learn stuff from you. They learn the way of the life, not only from me, from the people that are there. But when it's coming to say goodbye, it's very, very difficult for all of us, especially for me, because we was speaking the same language, and it's very, very difficult for them. But most of them, they try to have contact with me, even when they go abroad. They are still, some youth, they're still texting me, and they are saying, we still thank you for everything. You gave us so much motivation, so much hope. Because most of them, in the beginning, when they were coming here in Greece, they were it's like a low battery. They didn't have the battery at all. They thought it's the end of the world, the Greece, oh my God. But no. Yeah, they are still in contact. They are very happy.
So the connection stays.
The connection still stays. Either in this job, either the previous job.
And now we've spoke a lot about all these difficulties and the hard emotions that come together with this job. How do you help yourself to maintain your well-being and your mental health? What do you do? Do you exercise? Do you do supervision? What do you do?
Yes, I do exercise. I do workout, sometimes running, basketball. We do activity sport here in the center as well, but back home, my dog taking most of my time, I took her for a walk 3 hours a day. Not a lot of people, but personally, I try to separate my job from my life, If after the job, I don't close the book of the job and just leave it open and go home, it's very, very complicated. It's going to be so much anger. So I try to control it, to put a balance, Job is finished. Tomorrow is another day. And now my dog is waiting for me. She's only keeping me happy, honestly, these days. I see, mostly positive. I'm always positive. I'm thinking positive. I see the good part. Good part of the story. Every day, what I'm saying to myself, just keep myself motivated and not to go down. Because every day you hearing different history and story, and it put you down sometimes. My target every day is just to help one person. One person. My point is, when I'm going home, when I'm going to bed in the night, when I want to put my head in the bed, I'm saying, I did one job, one good thing. And that's make me go sleep like a baby.
Great. One good thing per day.
Yeah, one good thing.
And if we go and talk a bit about the lessons that you've learned through this job, what are some lessons that you've learned?
To be patient, not only by the word,
By life.
By life to do it, just not to say it. To be kind, control your temper. It's very difficult to work in a place with a different culture, different languages. You really need to prepare. It's not easy. As I said, I will find a way all the times, to just get connected to youth. If you are talking about the specific this center, you need to keep the balance.
So be patient, be kind, and keep the balance.
Yes, exactly.
It sounds easy. It's not easy.
I know.
Now, one last thing. If a young person comes and tells you, Siavash, I want to start working again. I want to start working with young refugees. What would you tell him? What message would you like to share with him or her?
First of all, I support him because we need a lot of people in this section interpreting. We don't have a lot of interpreter. What I'm telling him, the first thing is the language. I mean, especially in this job, in this.
Would you go for it? That's a good
Yeah,
choice.
100%. I'm telling him go for it. Because we really need interpreter in Athens. But two things: know the language and good experience. If he doesn't have experience, he need to do some workshop or some seminars that connect with the refugee or migration.
And one last question after the last. If you now, how old are you now?
I am 31 years.
Okay, so you meet 20 years old Siavash. What would you tell him? What would you suggest to your younger self?
Just do it. You're doing correctly. You are in the. I was telling myself you are in the right direction, even that time.
You were confident.
Yeah, I was confident. If you are talking here about Greece, yeah. Even in the past, in the beginning, Maria, I was saying to myself all the times, even I see myself in the very difficult moment of my life. It was coming the worst situation I was in. I was telling myself, I can pass this. I have passed the most difficult. I can pass this one. So, as I said, the problems are coming, the difficulty are coming, so we will find a way to pass from them.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Thank you, Siavash.
Thank you, Maria.
For taking the time.
Thank you for having
especially
me.
for taking this time today and during this difficult situation.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'm talking about the situation in Iran.
Yeah, it's a very difficult time for all of us. Let's see what's going to happen.
I hope.
But I'm positive again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you.